Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek and its mid-level 6-speaker sound system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how this infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, and controls. We're going to look at speaker locations, and then we're going to go out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this mid-level system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. Tomorrow night when I go out and record the fuel economy test for this car, I'm also going to record a members-only sound test with songs requested by viewers, members who have signed up. So if you want to see that and dig in even more to the system, have a little fun, check the link below. Now before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. And I'm kind of disappointed that this isn't the Wilderness trim, but admittedly more people are going to be buying these normal style trims, so this sport model has been a pretty good car to drive around here so far. I've gotten a little dirty shooting today, so if you do want to see that review, if you want to see this infotainment test we're about to shoot after this as well, any of those other videos, sign up, or don't even sign up, check the link below. I'm going to list them all down there. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also did the test with the sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. This has the larger 11-plus inch infotainment screen here, and we're in the media screen right now, and you can get to sound settings very easily from there. You just press that button. It gives you a quick and easy bass, mid-range, treble, balance, fader, and vocal image control screen, but you can access even more sound settings by going Home, Settings, and then right here to Sound, and then Audio. And you've got your sound customization. That's what we saw earlier, the equalizer, balance, fader, control. Then you also have this sound restorer, which doesn't even describe what it's supposed to do. And then virtual bass. This function corrects the bass sound by adding harmonic sound. And then dynamic beat enhancer. This function restores the dynamic range lost in data compression and creates a sharp beat sound. I can tell you, listening to decent music, whether it's from your phone or this USB stick or anything, it ruins your music. We're going to go through, turn them all off and on, and play around, but when I first got into the car and I was listening to music, I was like, oh man, this is awful. And it wasn't until I turned off the dynamic beat enhancer and the virtual bass that things got a little more proper in here. So let's go through everything, all these customizations. I could maybe see if you were listening to some satellite radio or some really low bitrate inputs how the virtual bass and the dynamic beat enhancer could maybe make things sound a little crispier. But if you're trying to get anything like a real true to recording sound, you're going to want to have all that fake stuff off like we have it now. For audio controls here in the Crosstrek, you got a nice volume knob here. It's got some decent clickage. Pretty easy to reach. Well, actually, I take that back. You got to reach your arm pretty far out as a driver here, and same as a passenger. You do have a volume rocker on the left side of the wheel here, volume buttons. For track selection, you've got a tuning knob right here. That'll get you through your tracks. It's nice to have that physical control, because other than that, you got to go here into the touch screen, go to your media screen, and cycle through that way. You've also got physical controls on the left side of the wheel here for track. Interestingly, they're in a totally different place than the volume, and it creates a little bit of this cognitive dissonance where you sort of expect it to mirror or at least be right next to volume control, and you got to really move your finger around. If you owned the car, I'm sure it'd be fine kind of getting used to where it is, but it requires a change in hand position. I don't appreciate that. For audio inputs in the Crosstrek, you've got quite a few. You've got your standard AM, FM with support for HD radio, Sirius XM, Bluetooth streaming, support for USB-A and USB-C data imports down there. You've got iPod and iPhone support here as well. Going through, you've got a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. We rarely see that. I'm really surprised for a car that was refreshed for 2024 to have that. And then you've got support for wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, the only thing I could really say is any sort of built-in streaming services. You do have this app screen. I don't think that gives you any sort of Spotify or anything like that, though. But in terms of actual device connections here, you got just about everything you're going to need. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 6-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got sort of a woofer mid-ranger there, 1, and tweeters up there, 2, 3, 4. And taking a look in the back seat, you've got your mid-range woofers there making 5 and 6. All right, I'm going to get this stuff put away, and we're going to head out on the road. Listening to this more complex track, I'm actually pretty satisfied that the system isn't falling apart more than it is. It's staying together decently well. It's just not bringing out a lot of the instrumentation that you're going to get on a more advanced system. It's essentially just giving you the core aspects of the music, and that's about all you're hearing. Which, hey, at a car at this price point, I really can't be too mad about. This next track I am pretty curious about, though. We're going to turn the bass all the way up and see what sort of distortion we get. Oh, goodness. Yeah. There's only so much you can do with 6 speakers. Before I wrap up my thoughts on the system here, I'm going to restart the track, and this isn't something I do often because typically I like to test only at flat EQ because equalizer can be subjective, and this is what the sound engineers intended the system to sound like. But I firmly believe the system sounds just that much better with treble down 1 or 2 and mid-range down 1 and bass up 1. Let's restart the track and listen to that. I'm also going to turn on and off the beat enhancer, or whatever they call it, and show you how silly it sounds, how much it really messes things up. You guys hear how terrible it sounds now? Alright, so if you take delivery of a Subaru Crosstrek and it's got dynamic beat enhancer enabled or the virtual bass, turn those off right away. Then your system's going to sound a little bit better. When I first started listening to this system and those things were on when I got the car, I was thinking E tier. This was one of the worst systems I'd ever heard. But after fixing that stuff, messing with the EQ a little bit, it's coming in at a very high D+. The reason I'm going into D is because a C system I think of as no harm, no foul, but also nothing interesting either. Literally, you can listen to your favorite songs and just be like, okay, I'm hearing them. Once you start getting into D, that's where it's like, all right, I'm not enjoying listening to my music. I'll actually shy away from listening to certain songs because the system doesn't do it justice. That's about where we are here. We're listening to some more complex, good music in the members only sound test last night, and I just had to turn it off because I'm like, yeah, the system's not doing those songs justice. But if you're not very picky, you're listening to your standard music, it's gonna sound fine. Nothing is harsh to the system, and it's a $32,000 car, so I'm not really that mad about it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Crosstrek, check the link in the description. Hopefully we get the 10-speaker Harman Kardon here at some point. We can test that out. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.